so relieved. When I first got the notice on this thing, there was a typo at the top and it said Fathead of the Year. And Allie Beth looked at it and said, "Ooh, they got that right." Think about that title, Father. That's one of the great titles. If you look in literature, look at the fathers. Bob Cratchit, Atticus Finch, his opposite, Pat Finn. Huck's daddy was kind of a ne'er-do-well. King Lear, Vito Corleone, Abe Lincoln. Remember the sorrow that Lincoln had to cope with over the death of his son when he was conducting the war. My reference to fatherhood is a little different, and it comes from the Rodgers and Hammerstein musical Carousel, a groundbreaking musical. That was the musical that Allie Beth and I saw on our first date. And in it, Billy Bigelow, the barker at the carousel, his wife is about to have a child, and he indulges in this soliloquy. It's one of the high points of musical theater. If you haven't listened to it, do it. It's long. And he starts singing about my boy Bill. And suddenly, about halfway through, he says, "Wait a minute. Suppose Bill is a girl." "Oh, Bill." And then he sings this marvelous phrase, "You can have fun with a son, but you gotta be a father to a girl." I guess that started with us, I called the hospital, said, "Okay, get it ready, get the hot water, get the doctors, get the nurse and everything, and bringing my wife in to have a baby." They said, "Now calm down, sir. Is this her first baby?" I said, "No, this is her husband." But that's really how it started. Allie Beth started hemorrhaging. We were at my folks for supper. We had to go to the hospital. Got there, and these 3 doctors on duty said, "Sir, to save your wife, we need to take that child." I said, "Well, just wait." And we were waiting on our physician, Dr. Julius McKeever, 80-year-old Scotsman from the Navasot River bottom. And he finally got there, and I'm looking down the hallway, and here's this little bitty doctor, and surrounded by the 3 guys on duty, and they're just giving him that. And he came out in a minute, and he said, "There's one chance that I can maybe get that baby. What do you want me to do?" I said, "It's whatever you want to do. It's in your hands." He said, "No, it's not in my hands, but let's go ahead." So 24 or 30 hours later, he came out and he said, "I don't know how that child got through that, but you have a baby girl, and the mom is fine." And I was so relieved, and then the next thing that hit me was, oh, how do you be a father to a girl? And I was just plagued by that. The next day, on the way to the hospital, I went by a store and bought a dress. I think it was for a 1-year-old. And I thought that's what daddies are supposed to do. By the way, that tradition has continued. So. And then, being a preemie, she was in the incubator for some time, and the first time I held my older daughter, it was in the palm of my hand. And I looked at that and I thought, that's new life. That's me. That's my daughter. And so I didn't know how to be a father to a girl, but I vowed that I would be a father, a full-time father, that I would be there. My second daughter, born under fairly similar circumstances, borderline trauma, and I made the same vow. I still didn't know how to be a father, but I vowed that I would be a father. So when we bought our first home in Highland Park, typical 1917, hadn't been remodeled since 1921, and the first thing we did was to finish the 3rd floor as a playroom. And so from there, any daddy's diary would be filled with, Barbies and bikes and birds and t-ball, campfire, skiing, sea-doos, Easter eggs, graduation, weddings, grandchildren, all focused on our family. The family is the microcosm of the society we live in. We even had a family code. I told the kids, if you're somewhere and you're in a situation you can't handle, just call and say, I've got a stomach ache, and we'll be there. And to this day, I think they know that. Now, of course, families focus on this. This is now how you get along with your kids. But you know, the more that machines control us, the more the need develops for human-to-human, heart-to-heart contact. Machines don't feel rage at injustice or disgust towards greed, reverence for excellence, awe before the sacred, elevation in the face of goodness. Machines don't create a sense of loyalty or friendship or sympathy. Now, I want my daughters to feel meaning and purpose in their lives, and that their lives are oriented toward the good. And I want them to have the habit of citizenship. Now, machines can be programmed to do the next thing right, but only humans can do the next right thing. So for me, to distill or to simplify the meaning of life was to simply try to share earthly, unconditional love, constant, caring, and sometimes courageous. Unconditional love. Is it easy? No, it isn't. You need patience, you need practice. So, as of this day, I still don't know how to be a father to a girl, but wherever they go, wherever they are, whatever they're doing, I want them to hear, I love you. And just maybe that's the way to be a father.